Hello guys, welcome to my channel. It's Zal here. Thank you very much for joining me. So this video is going to be a little bit different to what you're used to expecting from me. Instead of it being a reaction, it's actually going to be more of a sort of talking about SpellBreak. So the new game, which is currently, as you can see there, is pre-alpha. It is a Battle Royale RPG. The role-playing aspects of it being that you are a mage. So you're a mage with certain abilities, certain spells. I believe mana is going to be a prominent issue in the game, which you'll have to control and monitor your mana in order to use the spells. That's just off the top of my head. A lot of games with spells, wizards, stuff like that do use mana to kind of use the spell, if that makes sense. So if you use a spell, you lose like 50 mana out of 100, for example. Kind of keeps it a even playing field against your opponents, so you can't just constantly spam the same spell again and again and again, and with more powerful spells costing a lot more mana. With it being a battle royale, obviously there's going to be a big map to explore. Graphic wise, looks similar to Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is a very nice artwork, very nice graphical design. So that gets my approval straight away, and I'm sure it gets the same as you guys. It's funny, I've had a look on YouTube and sort of on Reddits and bits and pieces, forums, and it's almost being shown as the game that's going to overtake Fortnite, or could kill Fortnite. I don't know if I agree with that. The game speaks to a very specific audience, in my opinion. So it is the audience that do enjoy this sort of supernatural magic sort of gameplay. I believe Fortnite's player base is a lot bigger than that. It sort of appeals to everybody that likes guns, buildings, dancing, stuff like that. So I don't know whether it's going to kill Fortnite. I think it will be a contender, possibly. If it gets a big enough player base, it will certainly be a contender. It does look like a good game from what I've seen. We are going to have a look at a gameplay trailer in just a moment as well. Before we do that, I just want to have a look on the website here. So, as it says here, building a new Battle Royale RPG featuring epic magic combat, spectacular spell combinations, which is exciting, so you can actually combine spells is what I get from that. You can make sort of certain things happen. So I don't know if you have, I know, earth and fire, for example, whether you can then shoot sort of flaming rocks or flaming boulders, or I don't know, stuff like that. You know, I'm just I'm just thinking out loud. Craft strategic builds in your quest for survival. So whether that is a spell tree, or as you level after each game, as you level your avatar, your mage, you can then choose different talents to then go further. So I don't know whether that would be the case, because whether servers would then put you against, say, a level 1 mage and a level 50 who have like 50 skill points which have been used, but it would give them quite a significant advantage. I don't know how it's going to work. Now this is what I found interesting. So if you want guaranteed early access to SpellBreak and some super exclusive skins and other loot, and to support the development of SpellBreak, then you can become a founder. Now, the only thing with this is, as you can see by the pricing, and we'll go through each one individually, it's quite a lot to ask for. It seems to be given the price of a AAA game, which isn't a problem, but for a game that's in early alpha, very early alpha, pre-alpha, I don't know whether the price of $49.99 for the most basic package, I don't know whether the game in its current state justifies that amount of money. Now, I imagine at launch you're obviously going to get the game anyway, because you've paid for the founder pack, you've helped develop the game. You do get these things, so let's just go through them. So you get 1 key for all future test phases and beyond, mage role in Discord, exclusive mage in-game avatar and badge, and then more coming soon at launch. That's with the mage pack, but you're looking to fork out $49.99 sterling for that. You then have the battle mage pack, which is 1 key for all future test phases and beyond, battle mage role in Discord, access to test servers when available. You get the Mage in-game avatar and badge, as well as the Battle Mage in-game avatar and badge, with more coming soon. And then your Master Pack at £115.99, which is quite an ask. Obviously people are going to pay it. The people that do want to be completely devoted to this, really want to help out this team, make this amazing game, which, don't get me wrong, I'm in full support of the game. I just think the amounts for a game that's in such a pre-alpha stage is a big ask. But with the Master Pack, again, same as the others, you get 1 key, all future test phases beyond, Master Role in Discord, test servers when available, and then all of the stuff that comes with the Battle Mage and Mage Pack, but you also get a Master in-game avatar and badge. Whether that's worth that amount, that's up to you to decide. To me, it's not. To me, it's not. You know, I'm not going to do any of those just yet. I was tempted for this one, but I think £50 for a pre-alpha game with not much in the way of details. Yeah, I just can't fork out that amount. Scrolling down a little bit more, you can apply for the pre-alpha program, pop your email address in. There is a non-disclosure agreement, as there is with any alpha game, so you're not going to be able to live stream it, publish the media or details about SpellBreak if you do get in, which is a shame, as I would have loved to do that. I will still sign up for it, as I want to see what the game is like for myself. I just won't be able to share it with you guys just yet, I'm afraid, so sorry about that. But without further ado, let's have a look on SpellBreak's own YouTube channel. They do have this sort of SpellBreak pre-alpha teaser. As you can see, I've got a few seconds into it. This will be my first time watching it up till about 18 seconds, and you'll see what I mean by the graphics being very much like Zelda Breath of the Wild. And the spell combinations on here do look good up to that point, but let's have a look here, guys.
Oh my god!
Nice. Cool. So that does look very... There's a lot going on. As I said, the graphical design is absolutely phenomenal. It does look amazing. In terms of items, so as I thought, you do have what look to be just potions that you'll be picking up. What this is, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's like a one-time, like one-use spell. This seems to be like your main tree of spells of what you can use. And then you have your mana, health. Not sure what this is. Really wouldn't know. Standard map. Compass at the top here. Yeah, I mean, the way the game presents itself is very strong. So the graphical design, the way the spells are done, the diversity with spells as well. I don't know if you noticed, you had sort of fire, ice, wind, earth, all the main sort of elements, lightning. The wind was sort of pushing people back. You could freeze players, hurl massive boulders. It's very surreal, and it does give the player a great sense of power, I guess, as well. And I imagine you're really on an even playing field with this. So if you're against someone with the same spell type, it's a matter of who's going to use their spell more effectively, who's going to be better. It's not a matter of, oh, I have this really powerful sniper rifle and you have a pistol, therefore I'm, you know, the chances are more in my favour. With the sniper rifle, it's, you know, it's the same with Fortnite. The more materials you have, the more guns you have, the more ammo you have, the more better gear you have, the more chance you have against your opponent who has like a pistol or a slightly shittier gun. This game, it does look good. It's exciting. It looks really good. I can see why. Yeah, I mean the fact that you could freeze people here. I don't know what this stuff is. The ruins look insane. But for $49.99, I'm not sure just yet. I personally won't be buying it just yet. Let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, you are helping to develop this game if you do it, and graphically, it is at a more of a. It's more established. It's a lot more established by the looks of it. So when PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds came out, obviously it was buggy. There were glitches. It was very difficult to play. But because it was the first Battle Royale experience, the first Battle Royale game that came out, I believe. I think Fortnite might have at the same time, but it was sort of PUBG was here, Fortnite was like there. Obviously that's changed massively. In my opinion, that's changed massively. Fortnite is now known as like the best Battle Royale game that you can buy, with the AAA version being Blackout, so Call of Duty. Call of Duty again, very well established. Fortnite established. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds still has issues with it. The frame rate's a lot better. Graphics are a lot better. The smoothness of the gameplay is a lot better. This game looks as if it is established, so everything seems to be working correctly. As of what I've seen from these clips, it seems to be working well. The fact that, yeah, there's no sort of glitches, but you know, I say that I'm just watching a trailer, you know, I'm watching a teaser from other players, so what other problems the game is facing in game, I'm of course not going to know without playing it. Obviously SpellBreak are going to want us to see the best that this game has to offer. Now there is another video here, guys, by a YouTuber called Fever, I'm going to say Fever, I might be wrong, but I found this video very interesting. The first couple of seconds, well, first couple of minutes that I watched it, and just want to share it with you guys as well. Do subscribe to this guy, he makes some very good points in this video, but hopefully this will give you a little bit more in-depth view of the game as well.
Game SpellBreak, which has been growing a buzz over the last few months as more and more footage of the game has been released. In case you weren't quite aware of the title, SpellBreak is an upcoming Battle Royale RPG featuring epic magic combat, where you'll weave together spectacular spell combinations and craft strategic builds in your quest for survival. Now, if that language seems a little bit much, it's because that's the copy pulled right from the FAQ from Proletariat's website, the company behind SpellBreak, but the TLDR there is a Battle Royale game with mages. Now, because of an NDA, what can be said and shown is quite limited. We're restricted to really only sharing what's been officially shared. So while in the future we'll touch on some of the more specific aspects to the game, in this video I want to talk about why SpellBreak is special, at least in terms of the Battle Royale genre, as it's not...
There was another thing I wanted to mention before I got onto this, actually. So going back to... Actually, this guy's brought it up perfectly here. In the teaser, you saw that their arms had these devices on them, whether, you know, fire, wind, sort of, definitely there was like a poisony, sort of that green poison kind of colour one as well. Kind of looks like the Fel from World of Warcraft. But what I could see with this game in terms of microtransactions, if there are any, sort of the same as what way that Fortnite does their transactions for skins, is that maybe you could buy different skins for this apparatus on your arm to make it look better, you know, what you can wear as the mage as well, because obviously the colours are going to be very vibrant, everyone's going to look very different as well, which will be very, very cool, the different combinations that you could do if they decide to do it that way, if they decide to milk it a little bit more with skins that have to be purchased.
SpellBreak is special, at least in terms of the Battle Royale genre, as it's not just another Battle Royale game to scoff at and add to the list of 100 others coming out soon. Now, there are a few things I could talk about and extend the length of the video with, but let's just keep this on point with the most important part to me. SpellBreak is a Battle Royale game that isn't defined by the genre. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. PUBG would be the opposite. Its appeal is solely being a battle royale. If they decided to alter the game and make it only a traditional deathmatch or King of the Hill or a capture the flag style mode, even more people would stop playing. Quality-wise, it was, when I played it at least, a buggy, unoptimized mess that people just dealt with because battle royale was this new, fresh game mode that they wanted to play. Now that success spawned waves of games where people tried to release their own spin on the battle royale genre to capture some of that interest.
Very
maybe
true.
A product with increased polish, or they added the game mode to their already existing IP or their engine. Maybe they add a unique twist on the format, like maybe it all takes place on a game show or something. And they've seen varying levels of success. I mean, they've created one of the most popular games of all time, but more realistically, they quickly add to this growing pile of failed games as the genre staples have largely been established. But fine, I don't particularly like Battle Royale, but people do. But my initial reaction was to write off SpellBreak as just another one of those games trying to cash in on that just wouldn't interest me at all. However, SpellBreak isn't just recreating a battle royale with fantasy and magic. If you want that format-first style of pub...
The skill cap with the game as well it looks quite high, so I imagine you can pull off some really cool, in-air battles, maneuvers, getting around your opponent really, really well and using those spells to your advantage. It does look really good.
PUBG with fantasy and magic instead of guns and grenades, that's what Realm Royale was. SpellBreak, first and foremost, is creating that power fantasy so many of us have of crazy, over-the-top mage versus mage combat in a way that hasn't really been done before outside of something like an MMORPG or, even in-depth mage combat hasn't been given a real focus. I guess you could look to games like Wizard of Legend or Magicka, possibly even a couple MOBAs, but there is something that doesn't connect in the same way as this over-the-shoulder, fast and frantic, action-oriented combat style does, and it's not even just a good magic system, which it is. It's a good mage, it's a good battle mage system that holds quite a bit of depth and a high skill cap and a lot of satisfaction when you actually use it. That's what hooks you, not the genre. And even when you just watch clips of SpellBreak, you aren't thinking about battle royales at all, or this game's take on it, the size of the map, or how many players are in each round, or even the variation of the landscape. You're thinking about the possibilities as you watch somebody create an ice lick with frost magic and sprint towards their enemy on it, or watching a mage who seems to be attuned to wind, use verticality and spend time in the air raining down blow after blow. You see tons of different play styles and over-the-top spells and wonder how combat's even going to work. How could this be balanced? How many schools of magic are there? The genre isn't what makes this interesting, and in fact, the genre can almost be depressing as you sit down and you watch and hope that the game is being released in your genre of choice. Now, this might seem like much ado about nothing. You might be sitting there saying like, man, Fever, you're really overthinking this, but I am telling you, I think Proletariat is sitting on a golden egg here. It's like finding a free 4-letter domain name. It's this idea that works well on its own. It reads well. For some reason, it hasn't really been done before. They've captured this striking graphical style, and excuse me for bending the NDA a bit.
No, that's true. The fact that someone hasn't already come out and done this, or the fact that there's not loads of these already out. Of course, there's loads, as he said, there's loads of Battle Royales already out, which have died. You had that one underwater, with like sharks and stuff. That was like a meme for like a week, and then it died. The only ones that are still about is Blackout, which is Call of Duty's take on it, Fortnite, and PUBG. Realm Royale became popular for like a month, and then I haven't heard anything of it since. I never played it. I never even looked at gameplay of it. I knew you could choose like medieval classes, and it was kind of like that. But yeah, let's carry on.
Sure, it does have ways to go. It's in development, but it feels absolutely incredible and, more importantly, unique to actually play the game. The experience of controlling this battle mage is something that you could slot into kind of whatever format or genre that you wanted, and that will prevent it from being boxed to a format forever. I personally think that SpellBreak will find its success in the future in something that's not Battle Royale if it survives its launch. Now, granted, it is a PvP-focused game, but there are titles like For Honor or Smite.
That's true. That is true. I mean, if it goes all well for this company and for SpellBreak, there's no reason why they couldn't make a MMO or a sort of open-world game. They've got the graphic capability of it. The combat looks refined. The skills, like the fire and the frost, even the characters, everything looks established and refined. There's no reason why they couldn't branch out and do a standalone game as like a single player. Maybe. I know Fortnite started off as like a zombie survival, right? And it went to Battle Royale, which suddenly became the most powerful... Sorry, my headphones turned off there. Which suddenly became the most powerful Battle Royale game in the world currently. Which it is. I mean, PUBG was following close behind. Blackout almost, I think, overtook Fortnite at one point. In terms of where this company can go after this with its success, as he says, completely agree. Yeah, it could branch out. It'll be exciting to see.
That show you just how much variation that you can get with that restriction in place. It just so happens that they're using Battle Royale, at least initially, to present the experience. I even remember seeing something in the past, an interview or something, that they chose to go with the Battle Royale route because it's really cheap and relatively easy to implement, as well as just being on trend. But even in their press one sheet about what this game is all about, they kind of gloss over it being a Battle Royale and instead almost stress its RPG elements more, because I think they even know that's not what's important, and they try...
Let's go back there and read that, don't we? So, SpellBreak is a PvP RPG set in a ravaged fantasy world filled with elemental magic and emergent gameplay. Starting from nothing, players loot, choose upgrades and defeat enemy players to become the ultimate battle mage in the world of SpellBreak. You assume the role of a breaker, a magically gifted outcast who has come to the Hollowlands to take as much power as you can and get out. That's very cool. We want to create the ultimate spellcasting combat game, one that balances skill, strategy and depth with groundbreaking new mechanics like elemental interactions, part rogue-like, part battle royale, and all role-playing game. SpellBreak is a fusion of genres that is greater than the sum of its parts. God, that was really hard to read. So, be a battle mage, assume the role of powerful battle mage in fast action-packed combat, dodging spells and destroying your foes. Outplay the competition, draw upon many different spells, each with their own strengths and drawbacks, to outwit and outskill the competition. Magical combinations, magic interacts in explosive ways, so freeze elements to climb to new locations, blow up poison clouds to create dragon fire, and master all of the hidden knowledge, or you will fall behind your opponents. Cool, so it does look as if you would be going around the map and almost, I guess, finding spell tunes or spell scrolls or something to find these different combinations or unlock these combinations, which is pretty cool. The role-playing game system is that gear that matters. The Hollowlands are littered with weapons and equipment of previous Fallen Breakers, and with relics from a war ages past. Each piece of gear affects you differently and granting access to new and unique powers. I see. Okay, so you actually start with no spells at all, and you pick up the lost relics from defeated past competitors, and then you learn the spells that way, which is very that's cool. That is cool. As the match progresses, you will choose from dozens of skills, each one drastically increasing your power level, unlocking a variety of build options to help you survive the Hollowlands. As you play, unlock more classes to add to your character, and if you want to survive, each time you arrive in the Hollowlands, the treasures, the elements and the storms themselves will be different, which is fair enough, that makes sense. It's a world of unique vision with stunning cel-shaded environments and dynamic characters. Magic is not only fun to use, but powerful and impressive to behold. Couldn't agree more. Environments and backgrounds feel painterly and impressionistic, but are also well suited for fast action gameplay.
Elements more, because I think they even know that's not what's important and they try to downplay it. And that's kind of why I'm so excited for this. The comparison I would use for SpellBreak is actually Warframe. A game where, first and foremost, you are a rad, badass space ninja, and Warframe prioritizes making sure it always feels good to be a rad, badass space ninja. And they will add all these different types of content around that specific thing, some better than others, some completely unrelated, but they too are fulfilling this fantasy of being a rad, badass space ninja first, and then they give you this playground to play in. With SpellBreak, the focus is on you being a rad, badass battle mage, and it just oozes potential. And the part that gets me really going, and maybe it's just because I've seen so many games at this point over the years, so few of them are appealing separately and almost in spite of the genre that they've chosen. And that doesn't inherently mean that this game is going to be any better or worse, but that gives them a kind of freedom that developers usually don't have, and that's massive. I mean, the only thing that even compares to something like this is a well-established brand or IP deciding to adapt that to something else in the future. And so I'm really interested just to see what they do with this. I want to see how it develops in the short term, but especially in the long term. Now, a sad state that we're kind of in, competitive focused games they're at the whims of popularity and the right people playing them and the momentum of releases and update structures. So I'm not saying that this game is the next big game. And so it'll be fun to watch if nothing else. Do yourself a favor, check out their Discord, sign up for the alpha on their website, and stay tuned.
So yeah, obviously he makes some good points as well. A lot of points I agree with. It is a game that is coming into trend. So it is a game where currently battle royales are still the trend. You know, on the trending page of YouTube, you'll be pretty much every single one there is Fortnite. In one way or another. So if you don't enjoy Fortnite, unfortunately it's not great for you. I personally have never played Fortnite once, so yeah, I think with Fortnite now, if you were to try and get into it, the skill cap is so high that you can't even learn properly without getting just absolutely destroyed. I think it would be, if anything, a waste of time trying to learn that game at this point, in my opinion. I just think there's far too much to learn. The game itself has progressed through these different seasons. The map's different, the weapons are different, how you use everything. It's not really a proper tutorial either. So if you are finding yourself going in there for the first time, you will be looking at guides and YouTube videos on how to play. And it's just a lot more, you know, stress than it's worth, in my opinion, unless you've played it from day one or a couple of months after, or unless you're already well established in that game. SpellBreak, for me, it's certainly something I'm going to pick up. It's certainly something I'm looking forward to playing. I'm excited about. I hope you guys are as well. Let me know in the comments what you think of SpellBreak. Do you think it's going to be the next big battle royale? I would like to think so. It's certainly a genre that I can get on board with. The whole magic aspect of it. Whether that audience is big enough, I don't think it is to overtake Fortnite or even PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. But we'll find out. Maybe it can attract new players as well, just those that do like the Battle Royale scene. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I think that is all on this video. It's been a bit of a long one, so apologies for that, and if you are still here at the end, thank you very much for watching. Do leave a comment as to what you want to see on this channel. Did you enjoy the longer video? Is there anything more you want me to do this type of video about? A different genre of game or a new game coming out? Do let me know. That sounds like my dog. So it's a good thing we're ending here because he barks for hours. Do leave a like, do leave a comment, and do subscribe. It does mean a lot, guys. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!